What's good with y'all, man? This is Cliff Reacts, and this is probably gonna be the first vid I'm gonna put on the channel. We gotta check out what this title even entails. Becky Watts, I'm pretty certain this is probably the victim of the video, so rest in peace. Let's go ahead and get into it. England. Shout out to all the UK motherfuckers.
Late last night. The information suggested that Becky's body had been cut up, and a search at the new location resulted in the discovery of body parts.
In the early evening of 3rd March 2015, officers acting on a confession arrived at a shed in Barton Court, Barton Hill, Bristol. What they found inside that outbuilding were bags and boxes, sealed, stacked, and arranged. No sign of a struggle in that shed, no disturbance at all, in fact. The contents had been placed with what investigators would later describe as deliberate care. Inside were the dismembered remains of a 16-year-old.
Hey, hey, bro. What?
Care. Inside were the dismembered remains of a 16-year-old girl. Her name was Rebecca Marie Watts. Everyone.
16? Why is it that this case and the motherfucking David case, y'all always cutting up shit? First of all, don't kill nobody, bro. Like obviously it is not worth it. I don't even care if this is a guy that's been bullying you the whole fucking school year, or this is a guy that's been pushing you to the edge, man. If he hasn't attempted to kill you, I don't believe you have the right to attempt to kill a person. That's what the first thing I want to get out the way. Why in both this case and the David case y'all cutting up minors? Kids that didn't even grow up. They didn't even get they probably didn't even got a job, bro. Well, that's probably not the first thing I should have said. Probably didn't even get their first apartment. You know what I'm saying? They didn't even get the opportunity, if they wanted to have kids. They didn't even get the opportunity to meet the person that they're gonna marry and probably live forever with. You killing people that are supposed to change the world. I don't know for this case, but for the David case, it was for the protect music career that she got going on. 16? 16, y'all. Hey, man.
Who loved her called her Becky. She had been missing for 12 days.
All right, let me bring this mic a little closer.
Becky Watts was born on the 3rd of June, 1998, in Bristol, England. She was the youngest child of Darren Galsworthy and Tanya Watts. Small, slight, and instinctively shy, Becky was the kind of person who saved her light for the people she trusted. Her family described her as someone who was, in their words, like a tornado, hurricane, and sunbeam all at once. But that openness, that warmth, wasn't something she handed out easily. It was earned, and the people who earned it knew exactly how lucky they were. When Becky was 3 years old, she was placed into foster care. The precise circumstances were painful and complicated, but the outcome was that her father, Darren, fought for custody of his daughter and won. She came to live with him in St. George, Bristol, a working-class neighborhood of...
I know this video is probably AI, cause and it's still an interesting story. Don't get me wrong. Cause the way I'm looking at this shit is I'm looking at the profile pic, and it says True Crime Flow 2.7K. The way the description is written out, the way these, like, I feel like I know this is AI, right? I'm a little iffy with it, but I think if this is still a true story and none of this shit is made up, this is insane. This is insane,
terrace
bro.
houses and long, quiet streets, and it was there that she grew up. Darren, by his own account, loved her ferociously. He would describe losing her years later as ripping your heart out and stamping on it.
Gotta be.
Darren eventually began a relationship and got married with a woman named Angie, and Angie had a son of her own, a boy named Nathan, who was 12 years older than Becky. The two families blended. On weekends, Darren would recall, they were out every weekend without fail. He would come to love Nathan, he said, as if he were his own. But that blending of those two families and what it produced is a story that would take years to fully surface. Becky attended Summerhill Junior School, and her teachers remember her as a quiet and gentle child, incredibly shy and incredibly quiet, one teacher said. But by the end of year 5, she had started to come out of herself. The difficulties that came in her adolescence were serious. After starting secondary school, Becky was bullied about her weight. The bullying was severe and sustained. By the time she was referred to the child...
Bullying is so stupid, man. First of all, as a child, you're focused on how big a person is, bro. And I know from these pictures that I'm seeing, I haven't seen one fat picture yet. They had to be bullying her on how skinny she was then. That gotta be it. Because they couldn't be bullying... What a motherfucker... What do you say?
After starting secondary school, Becky was bullied about her weight. The bullying was severe and sustained.
It gotta be on how skinny she was. But I ain't never heard of that. Unless we are talking about, I'm looking at you and I see bones. Like bones, like John Bone Jones. Like I'm seeing straight bones when I look at you. Like malnourished shit. I don't even think skinny bullying exists. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you see this video and you in the comment section, you could tell me, yeah, hey, bro, I they picked on me because they saw bone and rib cages and shit, and I'll take that back. But like skinny bullying, because she definitely not fat.
By the time she was referred to the Child and Adolescent Mental Health Services in 2011, she had developed anorexia nervosa. At her lowest point, Becky weighed just 6 stone. She couldn't attend school.
Oh, so she was skinny. Okay, that's what I thought. She's skinny.
Being in groups caused her such acute anxiety that she was, for a period...
Wait, what the fuck is 6 stone? Hold on real fast. Is that like a... This is England shit, so is that 6 stone in pounds? Oh yeah, she light. She definitely light. At what age was she weighing 84 pounds though? I'm not sure what age what age they was talking about.
Schooled in a hospital setting. And yet, she fought, quietly, determinedly, in the way she did everything. By March of 2013, Becky was back to a healthy weight. A doctor who discharged her from CAMS noted in their records that she was happy and joyful. During her time that hospital setting, she had made friends, including a girl named Courtney Bicker, who would become her best friend, and whom the family nicknamed the Three Amigos. By late 2014, Becky was getting there. She had enrolled at KTS training in Bristol to complete her GCSEs. She was becoming, in her stepmother's Angie's words, really fashion conscious, developing her own style and always looking immaculate.
Okay, yeah.
She had a boyfriend at this point.
Improving on yourself, I love to see it. I love to see improvement.
Together since the November of 2014. Luke would later say he was not aware Becky had ever had any anxieties. To him, she always seemed happy. Angie, who had raised Becky as her own daughter, described her as 2 different people, shy on the outside, exuberant with the people she loved. We were inseparable, she said.
I mean, that's how most people are, though. Maybe not most people. I think there are groups of people that are extroverted towards strangers. I am not one of them. I'm cool. It takes me a while to warm up to people sometimes. Like I don't mind saying what's up to anybody that I don't know, or giving somebody a handshake, or giving like I don't mind greeting people I don't know. It's not like I'm shying away from just hellos and high fives and stuff like that. I don't care. But to actually hold conversations with strangers and stuff like that, it's gonna take me like a couple of days. I gotta get a couple of days to know. Not even a couple of days, probably a couple of weeks, man. So I think the whole shot to most people and is like energetic to the people that you know. That's like everybody.
On the evening of the 18th of February 2015, Becky went to a Skittles night at Barton Hill Rugby Club.
Skittles!
She stayed overnight with a friend. By all accounts, she was relaxed and cheerful. Her friend Adam Dancy, 17 years old, would later describe her last hours as really happy. He said, "We were just messing about, really, laughing." The following morning, the 19th of February, Becky was dropped home at Crown Hill at around 8:30. She was planning to catch up on some sleep. There is no way she could have known what was waiting. At approximately 11 that same morning, Angie Galsworthy, who suffered from multiple sclerosis, left the family home on Crown Hill for a hospital appointment.
Yeah.
She had arranged for a key to be left outside for someone who planned to visit. That someone was her
Nathan.
son, Nathan Matthews. Just 3 minutes after
Nathan, you are 12 years older than this girl. He's going to explain this. The AI generated voice is probably going to explain what he has against a 16-year-old girl for whatever reason. I think there's nothing you could, bro. There's nothing you could provide to me.
She left.
There's no motive you can give me, man.
Becky sent a text message to a friend. It was routine, unremarkable. It was the last time anyone heard from her. Matthews and his girlfriend, Shauna Hoare, arrived at Crown Hill.
Shauna, what? Hey, bro, it costs $50 to change your last name. Please do. Like, hey, bro. Hey, I know she was getting bullied. There is no way she won't get bullied. The only way she wasn't getting bullied is she got like brothers on her side that were like both 6'6", 8-pack abs, ready to throw down with anybody that's like talking some shit. No.
Matthews and his girlfriend, Shauna Hoare.
Hey, nah, bro. Come on. It costs $50 to change your last name. It costs $50 to change your last name. Come on now.
Arrived at Crown Hill.
That last name shouldn't even got passed down through the generations. All right, let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. As soon as the 1900s came to existence, that last name should have ended right there. I don't know how words were, being spoken in the 1800s and before then, but as soon as the 1900s came around, especially since the 20th century came around, bro, look, come on.
What happened inside that house on Crown Hill was established through forensic evidence, phone records, CCTV, and Matthews' own admissions under questioning. Becky was suffocated in her bedroom. According to the prosecution, she fought for her life. She was then stabbed 15
Oh my, hey. Keep going.
times. Matthews had told investigators that he brought with him a large bag. Inside it, a stun gun, handcuffs, tape, and a mask. He had called Angie earlier that day, he would later claim, because he was angry about what he described as Becky's treatment of her stepmother, that 15 times. Fought for
Wait,
her
hold
life.
on. Who brought this shit? I thought we was talking about Nathan.
Then stabbed 15 times. Matthews had told investigators.
Matthews who? So Matthew is... I'm sorry, I ain't been paying attention. Who is Matthew to the family?
He was then stabbed 15 times. Matthews had told investigators that he brought with him a large bag. Inside it, a stun gun, handcuffs, tape, and a mask. He had called Angie earlier that day, he would later claim, because he was angry about what he described as Becky's treatment of her stepmother. That she was treating her like dirt.
So you stabbed her 15 times? I'm also confused on... This might be that AI shit. Because the motherfucker just said Matthew, and before he was talking about some Nolan? No. Nathan. Not no Nolan. This is not Omni-Man. Talking about some Nathan. And now I hear Matthew.
That she was endangering Angie's health. His stated intention, he would tell the court, was to frighten her, to teach her a lesson. The prosecution at Bristol Crown Court would describe it from the outset as a sexually motivated killing. Her to teach her a lesson. The prosecution at Bristol Crown Court would describe it from the outset as a sexually motivated killing. Crown Court would describe it from the outset as a sexually motivated killing.
What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You definitely above legal age. You can make an argument that he's at least 24, 25. This is hold on. Okay. So Nathan was actually the real guy's name, right? Right? So Matthews is his last name. So I don't know where in the translation of the video they just started calling him Matthews and Nathan. I know, we refer to people as their last names too, but like I feel like for video purposes, let's just keep it simple. Let's just keep it simple. Especially okay. So this dude was hold on. How old was bro? That's what I'm trying to figure out, man. Because we know she was 16 when she got. There's no way. Okay, how old was bro? We're gonna put that shit in. How old was Nathan Matthews? Oh, okay. Let me see if I pull that. That man was 28? 28? Holy, man.
Evidence recovered from phones.
And then we're not gonna skip this over.
Sexually
motivated?
Killing.
All right.
Evidence recovered from phones and computers belonging to both Matthews and Hoare confirmed, in the prosecution's words, a shared sexual interest in teenage and petite girls.
Hold on. Now you're confusing me.
Belonging to both Matthew killing. Evidence
now I'm
recovered
confused.
From phones and computers belonging to both Matthews and Hoare confirmed in the prosecution.
Actually, I'm glad she kept her name. I am glad she kept your name. Y'all two demons both need to be locked up. I know you ain't commit the crime of the video, but
words, belonging to both Matthews and Hoare. Evidence recovered from phones and computers belonging to both Matthews and Hoare confirmed, in the prosecution's words, a shared sexual interest in teen.
Y'all both need to be locked up. I mean, we know why they're together. Yeah, we know their interests. We know the similarities. We know why they ended up together, being dating each other, man. Yeah, I'm glad you ain't changed your name. We will not call you Hoare for the rest of the video that you pop up.
Teenage and petite girls. Angie returned home at around 12:45. Matthews and Hoare remained in the house for the rest of that afternoon. They stayed even as other family members came home. Even as Becky's boyfriend Luke arrived that evening asking after her and was told they didn't think she was in. Just after 8 p.m., Matthews and Hoare left Crown Hill. They drove back to their home on Cotton Mill Lane, Barton Hill. Becky's body was in the boot of the car. That night, they ordered a takeaway. They made phone calls. They watched television. All normal.
I was trying to pretend like everything is going normal. We can see the play. We see the play. Terrible play. Trying to pretend like everything is good, everything is going normal. Trying to make sure that nobody can visibly see that we are shaking, or y'all probably not even shaking. This is probably y'all sick freaks. What y'all like to get on for? This is what y'all like to do. Y'all probably not shaking at all. You know what I'm saying?
Behavior other than they had a dead body on their hands. What followed over the next several days was methodical. On the 20th of February, the day after Becky was killed, Matthews was captured on CCTV at 12:51 at a B&Q store in Horefield, purchasing a circular power saw, a face mask, goggles, and gloves. Earlier that day, he had been seen buying drain cleaner at a local supermarket. Between the 20th and 22nd of February, he and Hoare were captured on further CCTV footage shopping for cleaning products. They were preparing. The dismemberment took place in the bathroom.
I got a question. When killers cutting up bodies and stuff, like, is it so the body can fit in their car, in their vehicle? Either way, It doesn't make sense. What's the purpose of the cutting up shit? It can't be for the vehicle. The body will be able to fit in the vehicle regardless, even if it wasn't cut it up. This is not a big girl. This is a 16-year-old. For a majority of her life, she was really, really skinny, 84 pounds to be exact, right? So this is not a big girl. She did get healthy, but she was never big. So it can't be for the vehicle's sake, because cut up or not cut up, she would have been able to fit in the car. So is it to put her in a fucking suitcase? Like, what is the play here?
Of the cotton mill.
Like, what?
The remains were then placed into bags and boxes, loaded into the car.
Okay, that's the play.
To a shed at 9 Barton Court, the home of a neighbor. Carl Demetrius and his girlfriend, Jadine Parsons, would later admit to having allowed the packages to be stored there, though both insisted.
Wait, what? Who admitted?
And transported to a shed at 9 Barton Court, the home of a neighbor. Carl Demetrius and his girlfriend, Jadine Parsons, would later admit to having allowed the packages to be stored there, though both insisted they did not know the true contents.
Lock them up too. It is very hard to not smell a dead body. It is a human dead body at that. It is very hard. Dude, when I'm driving down a fucking road, I can smell roadkill about a mile to 2 miles before I even reach where it got killed at. You mean to tell me that you did not know that this girl was cut up in many packages? So pretty much what you mean to tell me, as the neighbors were always receiving packages from these people, right? What did they even tell them? Oh, yo, bro, I ain't got enough storage in my home apartment and shit. So, hey, can you hold on to these things for me real quick? What is it? Did you ask what it was? Now, I understand if y'all cool neighbors, y'all been cool for a long time, that you probably ain't even got to ask what it was, because you like, oh yeah, bro, don't worry about it. You ain't got space in your apartment. I got you, bro. I got you. I understand that you probably ain't even got to do all that, but listen, you mean to tell me there's no amount of cleaning products that you could put onto a person's skin no, they're going to smell a dead body. Like, I don't know how many times I got to say it. Lock them up too. Lock them up. Lock them up.
Meanwhile, on Crown Hill, Becky's Watts was nowhere to be seen. When Darren Galsworthy arrived home from work on the afternoon of the 19th of February and found no sign of his daughter, it was assumed initially that she had gone out. But Becky's phone, her laptop, and her tablet computer were still in the house. She had not taken any money. She had not packed any clothes. She had told no one she was going anywhere. At approximately 4 p.m. on the 20th of February, Becky was formally reported missing. Avon and Somerset police made their first public appeal for information on the 22nd of February. The following day, Darren Galsworthy and Becky's grandmother, Pat Watts, appeared before cameras in an emotional press conference.
I know.
Darren's voice barely held.
Bex, if you're watching this, please come home. We love you so much, and whatever you think, we can sort anything out with the matter. Just come home.
Man. Yeah,
Pat
man.
Watts took over.
They don't even know, bro. It has to suck. I mean, I've never experienced it myself, but I know it has to suck. You know, coming in front of all these cameras, trying to wish your relative back to the house, knowing she been gone. She been gone. She been cut up. She been killed. And you're just out there having the hope that she's lost, you know, kidnapped. You're thinking kidnapped before you thinking she's gone. She's out of here. She's not part of this world no more. Kidnap, traffic, you're thinking all that shit before you think it.
Could no longer continue.
Hi Bex, it's Nan. You can see your dad's is a broken man. Just let someone else ring or text someone. And if you're a bit worried about coming back because of all this hullabaloo, come and stay with me for a few days.
An online campaign using the hashtag #FindBecky spread rapidly across social media, eventually reaching more than 2 million people worldwide. Across Bristol, the search organized itself. More than 100 volunteers turned out to comb the city's parks, open spaces, and riverbanks. Officers from Avon and Somerset Police ran 6 specialist search teams daily.
Damn.
Experts from the National Crime Agency, the College of Policing, and National...
This makes me feel bad about those cases that don't get attention, though. Those are the cases that I don't think these law enforcements are focused on. I don't think these, like, bro, I really don't believe the shit that don't get publicized is like we gonna just pass that under the rug because we don't have the pressure of social media being on our neck as far as how deep are we into figuring this shit out. We don't have that pressure. If it's like, oh, this something that happened in a small town killing, it hasn't even been brought to YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. It hasn't been publicized like that. You know, if it has, it was a couple posts from the relatives that's just watching. They trying to figure out where their little girl is, but nobody really knows about it. But once you get a case like this on a high profile, hey, people all over Twitter talking about it, you got that pressure on your head to figure how this shit out. So this may be all them other cases, man. Good riddance, man.
Search areas included Troopers Hill Nature Reserve, Needham Park, Wharf Road, Fish Ponds, Trime Valley, and Baddock's Wood. Detective Inspector Richard Oconee made a direct video appeal, speaking not to the family, but to Becky herself. "You are in no trouble," he said. "We are all just worried about you, and we want to make sure you are okay. If you can just call home, one of your friends, or call us on 101, we can work with you to help work through any issues you are facing." The appeal was genuine, but by the time it was recorded, Becky had already been gone for days. Throughout the search, Nathan Matthews and Shauna Hoare were present. They joined the family. They appeared concerned.
Yep.
They gave statements to police in the early days of the investigation, saying that when they visited Crown Hill on the 19th of February, they had not seen Becky, but had heard the door slam.
I hope he gives a motive,
gone out.
because he said sexual stuff, something. I still didn't even understand what he said in that moment. So I hope we get like a more clear motive, because I just need something to throw my rage at, man.
Get a drink, I think I was washing my hands. Then I heard the front door slam. Carried on washing my hands, went into the living room.
Wait, what's she talking about? What is she talking about?
Then we came back up. I went into the kitchen to get a drink, I think I was washing my hands. Then I heard the front door slam. Carried on washing my hands, went into the living room. And then I think it wasn't until a lot later on that Angie asked me if Becky had gone out. And I said, yeah, I heard the door go. She must have gone out earlier.
It was a detail investigators initially accepted. Police made a public appeal for the movements of a black Vauxhall Zafira between the 19th and 23rd of February. That vehicle belonged to Matthews. On the 28th of February, 9 days after Becky went missing, Matthews and Hoare were arrested in connection with her disappearance.
Yes, sir.
On the 2nd of March, they were rearrested.
I thank these two people for being dumb as hell. Dumb as fuck. You went through all the trouble to be present, be concerned about her death. You went through all the trouble to order all the things from the grocery stores, to chop a 16-year-old girl. You went through all that trouble, and you didn't rent out a different car. I like to praise the stupidity of such killers, because if they didn't do it, like, come on, bro. You ain't seen how to get away with murder. I'm not even advocating for that on this video, because this was some really dark shit, right? But you went through all that trouble. You checked out all those boxes of all the other shit that you needed, but you didn't think to get a rental car, to get a car that didn't have your license plate to it, to get a car that didn't have your name registered to it. Like, I appreciate you. How's that 25 to life?
Arrested on suspicion of murder. The following day, the 3rd of March, 2015, police searched the shed at 9 Barton Court, Barton Hill, following a confession from Matthews. And that is where this story began. There is something specific that needs to be said about the timeline between Becky's
All right, this AI voice is getting weird.
disappearance and the arrests. For 9 days, Nathan Matthews sat inside the investigation as a witness. He gave statements. He was interviewed at 1640 on one occasion and repeated again that he had heard the door slam and assumed Becky had left. He watched his mother grieve. He sat through a press conference where his stepfather appealed for his daughter's return. Not a single one of those behaviors is what broke the case. What broke the case was CCTV. His face on a camera buying a circular saw the morning after Becky died. His face again buying cleaning products. His face and Hoar's on footage from a Tesco on the 19th of February before they arrived at Crown Hill, purchasing batteries for the stun guns they intended to use. The camera caught with the performance concealed. This is not a commentary on police failure. The investigation, once rearrest happened, moved quickly and decisively. But it is worth holding the image. A man who had just killed his stepsister, sitting in a room with her father, performing grief and being believed. Not because investigators were negligent, but because the performance was sustained and premeditated in the same way the killing itself was.
Do all that work just not to get a rental car is crazy. Do all that work just not to get a rental car is crazy. Also, if you're killing, I don't know why I'm saying this. You're gonna kill somebody, right? And never do that. Never be under this mindset. I would think the people that are planning to kill somebody have seen the ways that other killers have got caught. Y'all know that like these grocery stores have been catching all of y'all for years, right? You get the chainsaw, you get the cleaning products, you get the gloves, you get all the face masks from one store, mind you. You get all that shit from one store, and you're following every path taken by every other arrested killer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thank you that you're stupid. Please thank you that you're stupid and you didn't plan ahead to actually buy that shit before. Way before. Not a day, not a week. I'm talking months. Hey, I thank the Lord. I'm not actually, I'm gonna say that back. I'm not gonna throw God's name in vain. I thank you that you stupid enough. Yo, let me go ahead. Let's get to the grocery store real quick. You premeditated everything but the important details.
The murder trial opened at Bristol Crown Court on the 6th of October 2015. Nathan Matthews, 28 years old at the time of the trial, admitted killing Becky. He admitted to storing her remains, but he denied murder, entering a plea of manslaughter.
Wait.
At the time of the trial, 2015.
Run that back.
Nathan Matthews, 28 years old at the time of the trial, admitted killing Becky. He admitted to storing her remains, but he denied murder.
Let's do some research, y'all. Manslaughter versus murder. Because I'm confused. The primary distinction between murder and manslaughter is the perpetrator's state of mind and intent. Murder involves planning or acting with malice. Got you. Intent to kill or extreme recklessness. Manslaughter is can I pronounce? Can I speak? Manslaughter is an unlawful killing without premeditation or malice, usually happen impulsively through criminal negligence. A murder is just premeditated, and manslaughter is not premeditated. You're gonna lose that, buddy.
Entering a plea.
You're gonna lose that.
His account, the account he offered to the jury, was that he had intended only to kidnap and frighten his stepsister.
I don't know, man. I believe she was stabbed 15 times. That was said about 5 minutes into the video, my guy. Hey, when that forensic come back, it's gonna hit like a bullet.
That he had brought restraints and a stun gun as tools of intimidation.
She was stabbed 15 times. Was she not? Was she not stabbed 15 times?
The killing had been accidental.
I don't know how you accidentally stab somebody 15 times now.
Shauna Hoare, 21
years
old at the time of the trial, denied all charges. Opening the prosecution case, William Mousley, QC, described to the court what the evidence showed had happened in that bedroom on Crown Hill. She was suffocated, despite her fighting for her life. There followed a deliberate, carefully planned, and grotesquely executed plan to cover up her killing. Becky's mother, Tanya Watts, left the courtroom in tears as Mousley detailed what the prosecution alleged had taken place.
Man,
the prosecution came.
I don't know how y'all mamas is, man. Hypothetically, if I was done like that and my mama had to be in that courtroom, I don't think she would be able to stand it. She'll be going to the same prison as that dude right there. Actually, he wouldn't even made it to the prison. I think my mom wouldn't even been able to stand in that courtroom, bro. Hey, forget the death penalty. She the executioner herself. She would have got him gone. As soon as she heard, hey, I was fighting for my life, I suffocated to death, and then I was stabbed 15 times, and then I was cut up. Oh, baby. Y'all not getting life.
Came at the case with 4 main types of evidence. The biggest one, CCTV footage. Matthews and Hoare bought a saw, cleaning products, batteries, stuff that clearly linked them to the crime, and the timing was right around the killing. Then there's DNA. Both their profiles showed up on things found in the shed, right next to the remains. Next, digital proof. The investigators dug into their phones and computers and said the data showed both of them had a sexual interest in teenage girls.
Okay, so
and finally, forensic experts testified.
Is that they using that as a motive?
And said the next, digital proof.
Mm-hmm.
The investigators dug into their phones and computers and said the data showed both of them had a sexual interest in teenage girls.
I haven't heard of motive though. Like, this is weird. Don't get me twisted. For 2 legal adults, a 28-year-old, and I'm not too sure how old the whore is. I feel like you being sexually interested into weird shit doesn't mean you're going to kill said weird shit. I know I'm not trying to defend it, but I'm just saying, is there a significant reason?
Testified that the level of dismemberment suggested 2 people. It would have been way harder for one person alone. Matthews' defense pushed for manslaughter, but the jury wasn't buying it. In just 3 hours and 27 minutes, they threw that idea out. On November 11th, 2015, Matthews got found guilty of murder. Or guilty of manslaughter. Both of them racked up more charges: conspiracy to kidnap, perverting the course of justice, stopping a lawful burial, plus possession of illegal stun guns. Sentencing happened 2 days later.
Stun guns are illegal?
On November 13th.
Maybe I'm tripping.
Justice Dingenmans, weeping as he finished his remarks, spoke directly to Matthews. He said the evidence made it clear the planned kidnapping was sexually motivated and called Matthews fixated on petite teenage girls. Dingenmans also said Hoare was convinced to join in. He ended with a nod to Becky's family, saying they'd handled themselves with dignity through terrible circumstances. He acknowledged how hard it was for everyone, but especially for Becky's loved ones. Matthews got life. He can't even think about parole for 33 years.
He shouldn't be able to think about parole at all. There are so many steps that you have to go through to even get to this point. There's so many times that you could have thought to yourself, look yourself in the mirror and be like, hey, what am I on? I'm literally conversating with my girl about killing my stepsister, who was a 16-year-old, ain't experienced shit. There's so many checkpoints along the way that you have to fucking check to get to where we at today. These people shouldn't get parole, man. There should be no these people shouldn't get the parole, man.
Years.
And she didn't get murder. She got manslaughter because the dude actually killed her, but you know she helped with the. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Both appealed in June 2016, but the Court of Appeals shut them down. The judges said there wasn't any reasonable argument the convictions were unsafe or the sentences too harsh. James Ireland and Donovan Demetrius were cleared. They didn't help the offenders after all. Carl Demetrius, who kept the packages in his shed, got 2 years. His girlfriend, Jadine Parsons, who they didn't. James Ireland and Donovan Demetrius were
Oh, so this is the two neighbors.
cleared. They didn't help the offenders after all.
Uh-huh.
Carl Demetrius, who kept the packages in his shed, got 2 years. His girlfriend, Jadine Parsons, who owned the shed, was sentenced to 16 months. There's a detail.
What's the difference? Like what? Obviously, they both deserve jail time. I said it before. I was like, there's no. You telling me you don't know that you carrying a body into your shed? Stop lying. Stop lying, bro.
That really ought to have gotten more
Stop
attention
lying.
when the case hit the news.
Oh, we ain't know, man. We was just helping our guy out. Man, shut the fuck up.
Said Matthews got a minimum term of 33 years, partly because he was of previous good character.
I mean, yeah, I helped out a homeless person before, but you know, I also killed 5 people after I did that. So, you know, perhaps you should just let me go a little easier. You know what I'm saying? You know. I gave a child a lollipop before and smiled in her face. And about 30 minutes after, I just ran over 20 people on the highway just to say fuck it. But hey, I was a good person before. I remember that lollipop I gave to that little girl after her balloon flew away and shit. Yeah. I been a good person.
That's just legal speak for no prior convictions. Sentencing guidelines require judges to treat a clean record like a mitigating factor, even in murder cases. But the trial laid out evidence showing Matthews and Hoare had a disturbing obsession with teenage and petite girls. The prosecution found plenty of material on their devices, and it wasn't just a one-off. It had built up over time. And everything about the crime itself, the prep, the bag, the restraints, the stun gun, the battery spot on the morning of the killing, made it obvious this wasn't sudden. It was planned.
Of course it was.
So, previous good character in this context basically meant hadn't been caught yet. That 33-year minimum is...
I mean, there's a chance that he probably hadn't committed any, crazy crimes. I'm not going to say he hadn't committed any crimes, but I mean, there's a chance that this is his first offense, but his first offense being this is good enough to tell him, hey, you don't get the possibility of parole. You killed your stepsister, acted like you was in grief with your family, acted like you was there trying to advocate to bring her home. And from what I'm getting from the video, you did all this because you were sexually interested. That don't make sense. But also what I heard in the video, like towards the beginning or the middle of the video, was you don't like how Becky was talking to your actual mom. I think this is her stepmom. You said that Becky was talking to her like she's dirt. That's what you should be. Dirt. Dead. 6 feet under.
Among the toughest sentences handed out.
But you getting parole, bro.
It's
you
not
getting parole, man.
But no prior convictions just means nobody had charged him before. It's not the same thing as no prior harm. The system doesn't always recognize that difference. In April 2015, before the trial even began, Becky's family said their final goodbyes. Her funeral happened on April 17th at St. Ambrose Church in Whitehall, Bristol. That's the same church where Darren and Angie got married, and the same place where Becky, dressed in blue as a bridesmaid, was caught smiling in a photo on her dad's wedding day. Her father called the service an occasion to celebrate Becky's life.
Mm-hmm.
Afterward, close family and friends gathered for a private burial at Avon View Cemetery. During his tribute, Darren remembered, She started to go out more and more and became really fashion conscious, developing her own style and always looked immaculate. He added, "Becky has left a huge void in our lives and the nation. We love you so much."
Yeah, that's sad.
A year later, in February 2016,
Sad,
people put a wooden bench in Goat's Field near her home on Crown Hill. It's a spot for anyone passing by to sit and maybe remember the girl who grew up there. In March 2016, Darren released a memoir about Becky. It was first called Becky, then later reissued as The Evil Within. He explained it was his way of giving her back something the headlines had stolen, a focus on her life, not just her death.
Yeah.
After the verdict, Becky's mother Tanya, her grandmother Pat, and her brother Danny stood outside Bristol Crown Court and shared a message. They wanted everyone to remember one thing. We loved Becky. She was a beautiful, happy, funny, fiercey, caring, loyal, and witty girl. She came into your life.
All right, that's pretty much it. I understand the scope of the vid. There's Jesus, man. I don't know if there's a way to determine like who is the fucking weirdness of the family. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if there's like a radar that you could look at somebody and be like, yeah, hey, somebody check his hard drive. Somebody check, because some of these cats got to be leaving Easter eggs around. They got to be leaving these. They gotta be leaving something around that you know that you can step on and be like, hey, we should check up on dude, man, because he might do something crazy. You ain't let the girl live. You ain't get to let the girl live, bro. I mean, adult life ain't shit, but you know, you can still get shit out of it, man. But that's all I got for y'all. Probably the next video may not be as dark, but who's to say? All right, see y'all later.